Yeah, that's the Blanchard River right there. And it's really, really low right now. It's been very dry this summer. But that river wreaks a bunch of havoc around here because it floods in a heartbeat now with all the, rapid development and stuff and drain off and whatnot. It flash floods, at least once a year. Not flash floods, I guess, but it'll come up over the banks once a year. You know, it is called the Blanchard Valley, so, stands to reason. Somebody's got a little produce stand. Free produce, all organic. Nice. I can go and buy that. If I could cook, I would grab some stuff because they have some good looking peppers and things, but I'm not much of a cook. Don't like it. It's the prep. You okay there, short dog? Oh, I think Hank's got a scent going on. He's picking up the pace. Colors are starting to come in pretty good now. I think it's going to be quick though. Really quick, since it was such a dry summer. Probably about 2 more weeks, I'd suspect, and it's going to be super banging along this river. You get some postcard shots at certain areas of the Blanchard through town, because it's all lined by trees. A lot of sycamores, a lot of maples, a lot of elms, and a fair amount of colors. That's some of it. There's this side of the park. There's a volleyball courts over there, mostly just these pavilions, which, if you're in a pinch and you're touring through and need a stealth spot, that one right there is not too bad. If you're in late and out early, nobody will ever know the difference. There's actually a lot of spots along this trail that you could stealth easily. The problem with that is people don't clean up after themselves, and that's rather rude. It was Hank was running some rabbits back a ways, and you can tell people have posted up there a couple of different times because fortunately it's all covered by some brush and stuff and just the growth around it, but a lot of trash and just watch some good documentaries on Helsinki, how they've dealt with their homeless issue. It's really pretty cool deal. There's a deal in San Francisco that was pretty trick. I believe that was the one where they were using shipping containers like on ships, and they're converting them into mini apartments and shelter, and it's mobile shelter. They usually set it up in parking lots, and if there's open industrial areas or such things like that, they'll set these things up, and they have air conditioning. They have porta potties. I believe they have bathing facilities too. But the little units are really nice, and the guy really thought it out, because he built everything pretty rugged. So, because there's a lot of mental illness and stuff involved with that whole thing, and a lot of people can really wreck a house really quick. So they've taken that into consideration, and you can literally go in and hose them out. So that's a really good idea. And or maybe it was Phoenix, one of those two. Then another guy was built a multi-unit micro apartment place. In the same space as a single dwelling home would live. And his experiment is how many units could he fit in that, comfortable units, and those were actually pretty nice. But Helsinki's got it going on, man. They've got it figured out. There's a lot of abandoned military bases around the United States that would be ideal places for the unhoused. Shoot, my old base in Illinois. I mean, that one probably isn't such a great idea. That was actually on a Superfund site for years, as the case with a lot of military bases, they get contaminated. But it's still, the structures are all there, the infrastructure's all there. Shoot, my old base is still even a hospital there, and it's all just going to waste. And it's a shame, because those were 2-person dorms. It was a communal shower, but you could house a lot of people in there. I don't know why. I was talking about the unhoused encampments back ways on the trail. But this is Riverside Park, and right beyond all these is the pool. See, any one of these, if you're just traveling through for the night, because this is not a patrolled area, you could easily, especially if the weather's bad, grab some sleep or something, or some rest. But the secret is, once again, late in, early out. You don't dare go in there until there's nobody around, so nobody sees you going in, or doesn't think anything of you going in. On a bike, it's not super obvious. Look at them big old fat squirrels. Hank doesn't even try for the squirrels anymore. But boy, he does love to chase his rabbits. He was having a ball back the trail a ways. Yeah, this is where you get your canoes and stuff. And yeah, they're all put away for this season. They pulled all the docking in. I think you can get canoes, kayaks, and paddle boats. And what's right over there is basically a pond, but it's actually the original reservoir from a million years ago for Finley. This is actually a nice little, you can take a look at it and see what it was like. They used to harvest ice here. Wow. There used to be a water slide. Ah, right down there, that's pictures of the flood of 2007. And I was in that. I had my music studio right down by the river. And it had, 5 feet of water in it. Lost a lot of equipment and all my stuff. Because it was also my storage for my stuff. So all my scrapbooks, everything got taken. It was a bummer. So there you go. There's part of the trail. And hope you enjoy the ride. And welcome to Riverside Park. Really is a nice little park. Findlay's a nice little town if you like basically quiet towns. There's just not a whole lot to do, and there's not a whole lot of culture. It's just your typical rural town across the country. So, till I see you next time, peace.